Good evening. We're at the top of the hour. Welcome, beautiful people. It is 6 p.m. sharp Central Time here in the greater Nashville. Welcome, beautiful people. Welcome to the RFD Talk. We're here at WVOL, the mighty WVOL, the mighty 147, Nashville's Heritage Radio Station. And we are excited tonight to have you listeners. I'm hoping that you all are doing well. If you're home, I hope you are relaxing if you're home from work. And if you're in your car, I want you just to ride with me, ride with RFD tonight, because we're going to talk about some fun stuff this evening. I just want to say, I'm hoping your day has been well. It's Monday, and I know sometimes Mondays can be different, starting it off if you're working outside the home or if you're still ending your holiday celebration. With the holidays, sometimes I like the holidays. I like tradition sometimes, listeners and viewers, but sometimes it's just a lot of stuff more and more and more. And last week we had a great guest on, I just want to recap, and she talked about that. You don't want to get overwhelmed. So you always, one of the things I remember from our last week guest, if you were here with me last week, we talked about, oh, and you also see my guest there. I meant to put her in the green room. So she's on, but we're going to put you in the green room now. We're going to put you in the green room and bring you right back. Okay, beautiful. Yes. So my listeners, I do have a guest here today, Stephanie R. Bridges, but we're going to just put her in the green room for just a few minutes while I chat with you all. She'll be right back. So we'll talk about the guest last week. Last week, she talked about, one of the things I wanted to remind our listeners that this time of the year, with the end of November, and sometimes we have to check with ourselves and make sure that we're feeling good about ourselves. Make sure you're checking with yourself first is one of the major tips. I remember her saying, with the holidays, sometimes we get overwhelmed. Our emotions can be all over the place. It's, connected to memories, loss, and grief. And so always check with yourself. And then do you feel like doing all the hustle bustle? Do you feel like keeping up with all the tradition? If you're not feeling like that, just be honest and practice saying no was the second thing I remember. One of our amazing guests who was here last week, she was talking about practice saying no. So the holidays, sometimes you want to really be checked in with yourself and then check in with your family and friends and see how they're doing. So remember, fill your cup up first. Make sure that you're not overwhelmed. And I hope that last week you had an amazing holiday. Last week, I hope that y'all enjoyed your Thanksgiving food and all that good stuff and family and friends, because that is what Thanksgiving is about, right? But it's also about being thankful. One of the things, some people, have different meanings to traditions, and everybody has different ways of celebrating family and gathering. Last week, I hung out with my family, right? And we got together and my family cooked some delicious, wonderful, traditional food. But RFD, which is me, the hostess with the mostest, I had to do Whole30. I don't know if y'all remember this beginning of this month, if you've been listening with me. This month is Nutrition November. And I really was thinking I was going to kind of like, I'm going to start, eating better after Thanksgiving. But I really took it to heart. So I'm on week 2 of the Whole30. The Whole30 is I am taking 30 days to reset my gut, and I took some things out of my diet. So I took a lot of sugar out of my diet in these last 2 weeks. I don't have sugar in my diet. I don't have any dairy in my diet. No carbs. So, and I'm feeling really great about the 30 days. So I have 2 more weeks. So I need y'all to send me some love and light so I can make it to my next 2 weeks, and then I will gradually add different fish. I'm not going to be adding a lot of chicken, because chicken I really had overate chicken. I don't eat pork or beef. So chicken and I need a little separation. So I'm going to add a little more of fish into my diet. So I'm hoping that you all ate well, feel good. And, if you're working on your nutrition for November, after Thanksgiving is a good time. And I use the gin with juice. So I use the gin with juice because that was what helped me detox. And then I went from detoxing to now I'm in maintaining, and literally got on the scale the other day. It shocked myself. My body does, your body does what needs to do when you do a detox and you start releasing different food. And so I'm surprisingly at my ideal body weight. So I don't want to brag about it because I'm not trying to lose weight. I was just really trying to feel good. It's important to feel good. So again, that's what this show is about here at the RFD show. We like to bring simple understanding. I like to bring simple understanding to complicated situations by taking the hard work out of self-love. I think that's my assignment in life, is really just help people to understand that loving yourself first is the most important thing to anything you do. And I know that we know that, God loves us, Jesus loves us and all that, but in order to receive his love the best, it's one of the things we have to get out of our own way and start to really honor ourselves and our self-worth. And part of that is your nutrition and how you feel. So you'll hear me talk about those things every once in a while. Besides that being my mission here, I like talking about relationships, self-care, personal development. I'm very passionate about personal development and spiritual growth. So we'll have some guests on and experts to talk about those things. Tonight, I'm super excited to tell you that I have a guest. Her name is Stephanie R. Bridges, and tonight's topic is going to be holiday fashion do's and don'ts. How many of you have been going to your Christmas party every year and you really want to look good at these parties, but you might have been the talk of not looking so good? So we want to talk about how you don't want to leave the Christmas Eve party or the family function and everybody's saying, what does she have on? So Stephanie's going to come and bring us some information on the do's and the don'ts for the Christmas functions, holiday gatherings that your jobs will be having, your offices will be having, and even your family gatherings. And especially if you're going to meet your boo's boyfriend, or you're going to meet their parents, and you want to like give this impression. So I can't wait to bring Stephanie on. Before we bring Stephanie on, I also want to shout out my sponsors today. I'm so grateful for my sponsors today. We have great sponsors, which is Shave Me Down Handmade Body Butter. And Shave Me Down Handmade Body Butter is one of our sponsors who is consistent with supporting the RFD show, and I'm so grateful for that. And you can find this is a great product if you have dry hands and if you have eczema. If you are a person who really wants something less chemical based, this is a natural based product, and definitely look it up on Facebook at facebook.com shave me down, or you can email and get more information and place your order at shavemedown06@gmail.com. And the other sponsor we have, which we really appreciate, and we want to shout this company out, which are female black owned companies. So great if you are looking to support some black owned companies. Majestic Elegant Candles and Company is a soy candle, and soy candles are the best. They are great. They're toxin free, and you can use them in any safe place where candles are able to be used, but you won't have any toxins in your air, so it's easy for your breathing. It won't affect your breathing. And it also have a wooden stick, and that is for burning slow, and also it helps it burn slow, and it also helps it last longer. So definitely look into checking out their sites. You can go to Instagram for Majestic Candles, and they're there as well. So I want to thank my sponsors. Thank you, sponsors. We appreciate you. Hello, Darlene. Hello, Jasmine. We appreciate our viewers. Thank you, YouTube viewers. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, viewers from Facebook. We appreciate you every week being here at the RFD Talk. And also, one of the things I want to say, our word for today, every week, RFD has a word, right? of course we have to say, what did RFD say? And what did RFD say is my favorite segment. These next 90 days, I'm giving away some prizes, some gifts in December. If you've been following me for we're on episode 9. This is the 9th week I've been here on the radio. And it is so exciting because it's like I'm birthing, the 9th month. It's like the baby is here, right? I'm like, oh my goodness. I've been on the 9 weeks here at WVOL, the mighty WVOL 147, Nashville's Heritage Station. Like, this is like I'm living the dream. On my way coming here, I'm like, I'm living the dream. It's so fun coming here every Monday. It makes my whole week being here with you all. And so one of the things we do on this segment, we're talking about what did RFD say. And RFD is word for today is diligent. I love words. I love affirmations. So we'll do affirmations sometimes. We'll do quotes, and I also do scriptures. And one of the scriptures, I know that it's a scripture. I don't know where it is in the Bible, but it talks about being diligent. Diligent is something that really means you're committed, determined. It's also a way of building a character of uh, reaching your goals. You have to be diligent. You have to continually seek what you like and what you're seeking for in life, whatever path of life you're on. You have to be diligent. And so when I thought about that, I was like, God, he was like, you know, in this industry of media, Robin, you want to be very diligent and you want to be committed to servicing your listeners. And so that is what I look at when I think about being diligent. I think about being rewarded for being committed and consistent and focused, and then just keeping yourself um, consistent, which will pay off, and determination. So the word for today is diligent, which means determination and careful effect. So the next thing I have is script. I'm not a scripture tonight, but I do have a quote that I want to share with you all. Last week, I was so impressed by Our Lady last week. She dropped so many jewels. The one of the things she said too, that one of the things about life, you want to every day find something to do different so you can create more happiness, creating happy um, experiences with yourself. How do you create more joy? She talked about thinking about doing something different every day. And so this week, not eating um, uh, toxin food, that was something different for me. And I added more water this week, right? So you want to find those things that bring you joy and happiness. And one of the things, the quote that made me want to bring this quote to you guys today, it says, find what brings you joy and go there. In life, sometimes you have to just sit with yourself and think about what brings you joy. And you have to just go there. And this was a quote by Jane Phillips. So that is what we have today. But now, with no further ado, we went through the sponsors. We talked about, I hope everybody did well this week when you're eating. And I hope you're feeling good with yourself. But we're going to bring it. We're about to bring the topic tonight. Tonight's topic is holidays do's and don'ts. And we have an amazing guest in the green room, and I'm bringing her in. Her name, can I get a drum roll? Woo, 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 woo. She's in the house. She's here, world. She is here. Stephanie R. Bridges. Welcome, Stephanie R. Bridges. We are
Woo!
tonight to have you here with us to share the holiday do's and don'ts. Stephanie,
Yes.
thank you for being here this evening. You look amazing, looking like $1 billion. Tell us a little bit about, who you are. Tell the audience a little bit about who you are and your background.
Definitely, definitely. So first I have to say thank you, Robin, for having me on the RFD show. I appreciate the invitation and just the opportunity to hang out with you. What's up, CC? I definitely want to shout out the radio station as well, the mighty WVOL in Nashville. Now, I have not been to Nashville, but I plan on making my way. So I'm looking forward to maybe one day being in house in the studio with you. Before I talk about me, I have to go back a little bit and talk about us.
Okay, you can talk about us.
Okay,
Let's.
just a little, you know what I'm saying? Just a little bit. So Robin and I go way back to middle school. And when I say we was live in middle school, we was live in middle school. And as a matter of fact, it's so crazy that we're talking about fashion because I actually remember how we met. So I'm an introvert and I'm pretty quiet. I would say that especially in middle school, Robin was more outgoing than I was. But there we were in middle school, and one day she looked at my shoes and she was like, "Hey, I like your shoes." And I was like, "Oh, for real?" And then that I don't know if you remember that. And then that's how our friendship blossomed.
Wow, I told you that, girl. I did not remember, Stephanie. I charge it to my brain, not my heart, because definitely we go all the way back there to early '80s. And
Yeah,
that's when I was living in Columbus, Ohio, and I lived there from '80 to '85, and we met in middle school. I know we did, and I
yeah.
probably did because I'm gonna tell you why I probably did tell you that, Stephanie. It's a great topic that we're on.
Hmm.
Share a little bit about ourselves because fashion, when I was younger, was something that I thought I was drawn to be a part of. RFD, really, I wanted to have the Robin F. Davis signature on all my clothes. So
Hmm.
definitely in my mind, fashion was always something that I have always admired in you. And period in my life, I thought, fashion would be one great thing to do and become. So yes, girl, we had a lot of fun in school. We were a hoot, right?
Yes, we were a hoot. We're gonna leave it at that. We were a hoot. So
Thank God for his grace. We thanking you, God, right now for this
hallelujah.
moment. And he grew us up and all our experiences are paid off. And now look at us now, right? We thank
Yes,
you, God. We thank
definitely,
you, thank you, thank
definitely.
you, thank you.
Yes. So I think I love that you brought up fashion, like, like way back you were thinking about it. So the same is true for me. When I was young, of course I used to play dress up, in my mom's clothes and everything like that. And I always loved clothes. I always loved fashion. I always loved shoes and everything like that. And so as an adult, I would sit and watch YouTube. Well, like back in the day, my favorite shows were like How Do I Look and things like that. But as an adult, I would just sit and watch YouTube, and I would always think, oh, one day, I want to be a YouTuber, I want to be an influencer, I want to show fashion. But because, of my age and just feeling like, oh, well, nobody would take me serious, or this isn't something that I could do at this time in my life, not thinking that it was necessarily important or a quality direction to go in. I just never really moved on it. And I remember reaching out to people who were more established in the fashion arena and asking them, oh, can I be a part of your magazine? Can I be a part of your blog? And just really wanting to collaborate with someone who was more established to give me, more gravitas. So I would, step in a certain kind of way. And none of that worked out. So it wasn't until actually COVID happened and everybody was sat down, everybody was quarantined. I'm a writer and a publisher, and I got tents and tables and vendor's license. And I was gearing up for my second annual book fair, and everything shut down. And the voice was like, well, what else you gonna do? And I was like, okay. So that's where it was born. I said, okay, I'll start a fashion blog. It's stephaniereneestyles.com because I have a publishing company. So I wanted it to be under the umbrella of publishing. So I started my blog, I started my YouTube channel, Stephanie Renee Styles. I had my kids taking pictures of me. They would be rolling their eyes and, looking like, oh my goodness. And, the pictures at first, they weren't, very good. I was just finding stuff, that I already had and wearing that. And so that's how it started. And I would never wish what happened to us in 2020 on anyone. And I know some people had great years, but for me, and I'm sure for you, in a sense, being a very empathetic person, even if certain tragedies didn't impact me personally, just seeing everything that everybody went through impacts me greatly, and wanting to see health and wealth and goodness for everyone, because as we discussed, we are all connected, we are all spiritual beings, and we're all connected people. But it really did make me pivot. It made me switch up. I couldn't go out and vend. I couldn't, be a vendor. I had started working at a school, a media school, and things happened there. So that's what I did. I started going into fashion.
Yes. Oh, that was great idea. Because I remember, just to jump in there with you. Well, I remember when, as a publisher, you started the your
Bridget Club and the
your
book
Bridget
fair.
Club, and yes, and then I knew you had some great things going on, and doing some major things with that. And then I seen that you had to cancel your event. I was like, oh wow. And but I was so and I was like, oh, our event had to cancel, but you came right back. Like, you came right back. Like, I was like, wow. Like, I'm sitting there still pivoting, like, okay, like, I'm like, okay, God, like, I'm waiting for that voice, right? I'm like, voice, God, what's okay? This is what, because I know I had a whole lot of different things. I thought I was going to be doing some. Actually, I thought I was going to be doing more speaking gigs in 2020. That was my approach to
Mhm.
2020. I wanted to actually get some more facilitating gigs and get out there and do all that networking fun stuff and connect with you and all that stuff. And it was like, oh no, that's not happening. But then when I seen your blog, I said, Stephanie, this is hot, girl. I was like watching you every day post so consistently, diligently. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I'm a fan. I was like, I'm a fan of this. This is hot, girl. You got something going on. And so I think it really still meshes very well with you as an author, because you definitely have a way of expressing your words and putting them into poetry and books, and then now putting them into clothes. So tell us more about how that what do you do with that now?
Yes, definitely. So I am a business owner, have a publishing company. I also help people with grants and different things like that. But first and foremost, I move through the world as an artist. So, there's literary arts, with my writing. I love visual arts. I have some different paintings and different things around me, but clothing is a way for me to express a visual art form. So it's wearable art for me. So, and I just love that. I love being able, and I'll tell you something. Okay, so full disclosure, I am one of those in real life influencers or bloggers. So what you see if you go to my Instagram, Stephanie R. Bridges, what you see is me performing art, me showing art. If you see me in real life, IRL, you might not get served those same looks. You know what I'm saying? I've tried to get better since I've started being a fashion influencer and kind of making the two mesh. But one thing I would find myself doing, like if I felt like I looked nice and looked good, and I was going to the store just out in public and people would see me, they would smile and I would smile back and say hello. But if not, in 90% of the time, I just go out. like whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's like you gonna get what you gonna get. But when I would go out and people would look at me, I would get an attitude. Like, what you looking at? Like, why they looking at me? And it was because I didn't feel like I was at my best. So me not feeling like I was at my best turned into me being mad at other people, for looking at me, which made total no sense. I mean,
Mhm.
they might have thought, okay, you look fine, and maybe it's that same thing, where they look and they want to say hello or they want to speak, but I would just find myself looking the other way, not wanting to make eye contact and doing different things, and that happened for the longest. And I always thought, it was them. Like, what you looking at? Like, why are you in my face? But, come to realize I had to come to terms that it was me. So I think
Mhm.
appearance can be so important if it's important. And
Mhm.
I never go into a thing and say, we've worked together. So as a fashion consultant or personal shopper, everybody has a style. So I'm really trying to pinpoint what is it that you like, what is your style, and how can I assist in making that something that's fun for you, something that you can, have with ease. But never do I look at fashion as an expression of art, as something that everybody needs to appreciate or everyone needs to do. As business owners, some of the most um, successful, monetarily or whatever, business owners, we talked about this too, they wear a uniform. They literally will wear the same thing every day. They'll wear a white shirt and black pants or a brown dress. They'll wear the same thing every day because they don't want to spend that time having fashion on their mind. So even when we start talking about the holidays and how you can take all the air out the room, and we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it.
Oh, the air out the room. I love that.
Still, you have to know that it is about your comfort level and how you want to show up, and where you are in all aspects of your life. I'm going to let you jump in, but I just want to speak to what you said about changing your eating habits and what it is that you're doing. So going back to being spiritual beings and our spirit elevating. Our spirit can elevate in an unhealthy body, but it's just like being unequally yoked. So your spirit is free. Your spirit can elevate. But do you want your spirit that's on high, that's knowing that you can do and be and manifest any and everything that you want? Do you want your spirit's vessel to be in something that doesn't match where your spirit is? So
Mm.
that's the real question. It's not like, oh, you got to change this, you got to do this, you got to do that. You ain't got to. You ain't got to. We
Right.
can look at that biblically. We can look at that in lots of different ways. But you literally do not have to. But you have to say, do I want to be equally yoked? So fashion for me is a way for me to move throughout the world and kind of be equally yoked with where I want to go and how I want to be perceived, how I want people to see me, how I want to be able to look back and make eye contact and say hello. As I
Mhm.
stated, I'm an introvert. So any little thing is going to help me. And I definitely want to get with you about detoxing because I want my vessel to be equally yoked with my spirit. My
Mhm.
spirit is elevating. So I
Yeah.
want my vessel to, be a match with that as well.
Absolutely. Thank you, Stephanie. That makes so much sense to be equally yoked, and how you broke that down, how we're spiritual beings, and where you want to be in that, like making that conscious decision, because that's what definitely want to say with eating this last 2 weeks, it's definitely been me being conscious that I have an assignment at here at the WVOL for all you great listeners and viewers. And in order to show up and give you the service that I desire to give you guys, and conversation that I love having conversation about, definitely it does line up with my spirit for me to house it in my body, right? And so I really appreciate you bringing that. But I definitely want to make sure the listeners know I did mention that we go way back to the good old 80s, or in fashion, when we thought we were like fat. I thought I was like, and me as well. I'm an invert, but I do love clothes, and that was the way I would express myself back when I was younger, right? I wasn't like, and I might have been a little bit, but I don't know, because I remember much about, I'm still driving from the old school, but I was like, okay, right? Like, I don't know, but fashion was important to me then when I was growing up. But I also want to let the listeners know that you're my fashion consultant, and I have learned a lot working with you, Stephanie. You taught me to feel comfortable in a high rising shirt. That was before the detox, right? You taught me, you showed me you can wear that, because you let me know it was an inward thing. I didn't mentally think I could wear, what's that kind of shirt, that
Like
rising shirt?
a crop
A
top
crop, girl.
attire.
Look, a crop shirt. I was like, girl, I left them back in early '90s after I had my baby boo. Right, she 23 years old, so it wasn't no crop shirts coming on. But I seen women wear them, and they a little bit more full figure women. Country build, got their hips and everything. I was like, go on, girl, with your, go on, sister, with your You know what I'm saying? I ain't knocking nobody with size. And that's why I said I wasn't going to brag about my weight, because I didn't do it to lose weight. I actually did it to feel well. And so it wasn't about losing weight. And my ideal weight, I am already like a small medium. So my ideal weight, my body is just literally agreeing to be that, right? By
Yes,
choosing to eat better. And so that's a part of that acceptance. But Stephanie is my consultant, and a lot of the things that you see me wear here, I'll be getting a lot of compliments on all the things, everything you have suggested in my closet. I get a compliment off of Stephanie. I just haven't called you up every time and be like, girl, somebody like my earrings, somebody like my necklace, somebody like my shirt. I was like, oh my God, I'm feeling like special, because I have you to help me tweak those things, help me have that accountability with myself, and to get out of my comfort zone, put on some clothes that I didn't feel comfortable in, and now feel like I can wear those things. So I want to say, if you're looking for a consultant, I highly recommend you. She is my personal consultant, and of course I had to have Ohio swag. Now, there's a lot of great people out there in the world, right? But nobody swags like us Ohioan women, okay? Now, I just got to put that in there, and I'm gonna leave it alone.
yeah.
Tennessee, I've been here more, almost half of my life too. My family is from here, but I
Mhm.
definitely know that I like having my Ohio swag. It's confident, it's cool, it's laid back. And we are some high maintenance women. Ohio women are. So, most Ohio women, you ain't gonna see us without our, what, looking good from Ohio, right? Again, like I said, I love Tennessee, but I definitely like to be me wherever I am. So I have to shout Ohio out. And that's where I'm from. And that's where you represent that. And you notice that
Yes.
too. Every state, you got your California women who wear what they wear in Cali. You got your Tennessee women who, that wear what we like to wear here in Tennessee. I think
Mhm.
Tennessee has, Tennessee women, we have our Southern Belles, and they're very beautiful in their Southern Belle, right? They do their Southern Belle well. I'm not trying to fit into the Southern Belle as much as continue staying who I am. Being true to yourself is what RFD always want to tell everybody. Just be true to who you are and be the best version of that. So,
Yeah.
Stephanie, tell us some of those things that you may want to share. And I want to thank you again for getting me out of my comfort zone and
Mhm.
tweaking my clothes and telling me how to, present myself. So, tell us some of the do's and don'ts that you would say, how you go take the air out the room. Thank you, Kim. Thank you so much. Well,
Hi.
you are beautiful too, Kimberly. Thank
Hi,
you.
Kim. So yes, so let's talk. Okay, so before we go into holiday and just shutting stuff down, let me say this: it doesn't matter how fabulous, how designer, how luxurious, what side of the state, country you repping. If you won't wear it, it won't work. So we have so many things in our closets that, it looked good, on the website, it looked good on the model, it looked good on the mannequin, and then we bring them home and we don't wear it. So I think the first thing before you take the air out of the room is you really have to tune into where you are comfortable, where you sit, okay, what you like. And I even do that. So I have on this black shirt. I love wearing neutral colors. I love wearing black with puff sleeves. I love puff sleeves. I probably got about 5 black shirts with puff sleeves. So when I was thinking about, well, what am I going to wear today? I was like, I ain't even gonna make this hard on myself. Some different things did ping, ping, ping. But I was like, no, I'm going to sit where I feel comfortable. And that's what I'm doing right now. So I'm able, to speak to the audience. I'm able to come on with confidence because I have a level of comfortability. So once you hone in to what it is you like, what colors you like, what styles you like. And this is a great time to live in regards to fashion because nothing is out of style. Nothing.
Did you say
Nothing.
that nothing is out of style? I had to
Nothing
repeat
is
that.
out of style anymore. And I'll tell you the reasons why. So, and fast fashion gets a bad rap, but one of the reasons is fast fashion because they're able to make things so quickly and put things out there and make them available that they're able to cycle through things. So nothing is out of style. The second reason is fashion influencers. So if your influencer, okay, so like if I'm your favorite influencer, let's say I got 1 million followers, and I say I like black shirt with puff sleeves. Don't you think some of my followers are gonna be like, I like black shirts with puff sleeves too? So it doesn't matter if a fashion house says, okay, that's not in style anymore because influencers have so much power. Fast fashion has so much power. That's just think in terms of denim. You can wear wide legs. You can wear mom jeans. You can wear flare legs. You can wear boot cut. You can wear skinny jeans. Now let's talk about skinny jeans for a minute because I said nothing is out of style, but there are certain things that aren't on trend. Okay. So you can wear whatever you want in 2020, 2021, 2022. There are certain things that aren't on trend. And the only thing that not being on trend means is that it might not be as readily available. So recently, the trend was square toe shoes. Now, they're not necessarily on trend anymore, but they're still in style. So I love square toe shoes. So I know when they're on trend, get my square toe shoes. Because if I don't get them when they're on trend, when they're at every price point, then I know I'm going to be searching like, oh man, I'm looking for them high and low. So when things are on trend, if it's something that you love, make sure you get it. But don't feel uncomfortable about anything because everything is in style.
Wow, that is a good thing to know because you're right. I love that shirt you have on too. I
Thank you.
love, and that's what I would say when I think of fashion in the state of Tennessee. Everything is out this because it's a melting pot, something similar to Columbus. No one's really from here, and so everyone can wear what they want, and that's why I mentioned Ohio because I felt like I kind of lost myself in that. I was just like, I'm just wearing what I have, in the closet. And I love square toe shoes too. I noticed they got the pointed ones back out. And I was like, where's my square toe? I cannot believe you.
I got a whole slew of them.
I
I'll be
love them. Those are
I
one of
got
my favorites
mine
too.
though.
I think they are just like step in the room and here I am. I like them.
Yes.
Now the pointed ones for me can be a challenge because they can give your toes a trying to be cute in those. I think they're nice, but I think I have a medium foot. So my foot kind of has that medium feel and it doesn't always feel as comfortable in the pointed toes. I have some pointed
Yeah.
toes, but I love the square.
And then
point.
the platform shoes are coming back now, which I love the platform shoes. I love the aesthetic of them, but I got a wobble ankle. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to be able to wear them back in the day, but I'm not really too much walking around in nobody's platform shoe. I'll wear them in a picture. You know what I'm saying? I'll kick my heel up in them, but I'm not necessarily going to be walking and rocking them. So that's what's moving into trend. So yeah, definitely whatever you like, get to that. So let's talk about holidays. So of course, you have your traditional colors. You have your black, your green, your silver, your gold, your red. You can definitely do those things. Also, any jewel tones are good. So any glitter, any shimmer, any velvet. So those are all your traditional things that you can kind of work with and use. Now if you want to take the air out of the room, there's certain things that you can do. So they're style techniques. So you can do a head to toe look. Okay. So basically, our eye wants to rest. So when we look at a person head to toe, the reason why people break up their outfit is because it's comfortable and you want your eye to flow and you want your eye to rest. But if you want to shut down, you don't get an eye no rest. You wearing
Oh,
a red dress with some red boots and a red blazer and a red hat. Oh, all eyes on you. Like ain't nobody gonna forget you pushed through. And you can do that with any color. You can do that with red. You can do that with cream. You can do that with green. You can do that with anything. So I have like a little of something here. So like here, I have a red dress. So you can just imagine a nice red dress and do a red blazer and then like this red boot. Wait a minute,
that
let me.
boot is wait a minute. That boot is bad to the bone, girl. What
You
a
couldn't
boot
do
is
it
that?
now.
That's
So
for my listeners. That's a thigh boot. That's a red high heel thigh boot. Go ahead.
yes. So that is one thing that you can do. You can do a head to toe monochromatic look. Now you can also do all black everything. It's going to read a little bit different than monochromatic. It's still very fashion forward. But if you do an all black everything, you can also do a pop of color. So you mentioned black on. So this is like a black on bag. This is tote and carry. Very nice, a nice jewel tone. So just imagine you got on head to toe black, black skirt, black shoes, and then you just have this one bag pop of color. Oh, they gonna see you. They gonna see you.
Girl, you get me right. You get me right now. Like, oh, I like that idea though, girl. Oh, this is getting me excited. I'm just waiting for my invites to these holiday Christmas parties now.
Exactly. So yes, so that's monochromatic. Now, another thing that you can do is you can show some skin. Now, the thing about showing skin is it's always going to look good. It doesn't matter what age you are. You just have to know what it is you want to show. So I'm 5'2" ish. And so I like to show my legs. I like to wear I like to wear heels and show my legs because I feel like it gives me height. So if I was going to show skin, I would wear something short. You can show cleavage. That's something else that I would do. I wear a nude bra. So this is my color nude. It's a Macy's Mademoiselle bra. Get yourself a nude. I'm 52 years old. I don't care if you see my bra. I don't care if you see my visible panty lines. I don't care. So you know what I'm saying? I know certain age, certain people, they're concerned about that. But
Right.
you do like a nude, find your nude color, you can do cleavage. If you really want to shut things down, now I probably wouldn't necessarily do this, but do your back out.
Oh, like I got tonight, like I did tonight on the show.
Yes. See how we didn't know.
You didn't know I was gonna wear my back out, but I was like, well, I'm gonna wear my little back out, my little shoulders out, so my back out is in this sweater. But I'm growing into this Robin, this RFD. We Stephanie, hold that right there because we have an amazing audience call in. They have a question, so we have a question for you, Stephanie. Hold tight.
Okay.
On the air. Yes, I have a question concerning, I guess, the fashion. I mean, I'm actually, I don't know if you're doing it virtual or not, but have you thought of a virtual fashion show?
Oh, have you thought of doing a virtual fashion show, Stephanie?
I I love that question. I have been tapped to help somebody with their fashion show, but I haven't done any of my own as of yet. So I think that's an amazing idea. And the thing that I'm considering or working on right now is doing a book, like a coffee table book with some fashion and some poetry. But I love that idea. Do you want to do one? Hit me up. Let's make something happen. What's your name? Who is that?
Thank you.
Who was that?
I'll get with Robin.
Okay, look forward to getting with you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye now. Yeah, so that's great. Like a visual fashion show, that would be powerful. I never thought about that, but yeah, I'm sure you could collab and do some things like that virtual. That
Yes.
would be
And
awesome.
a
Yeah.
lot of fashion designers did that during COVID. Hanifa was a big one. She's a black designer, and she did the virtual fashion show where the clothes just walked by themselves. I mean, and that exploded. That was amazing. So look up Hanifa on Instagram. You can see some of the stuff she did. But yeah, virtual fashion show, that's an excellent idea.
Yes, thank you, caller, for calling in. We appreciate you dropping that nugget. And now we got something we'll be thinking about coming in our near future. So, Stephanie, tell us what we have maybe about 15 more minutes. Tell us some more about and taking the room. Girl, you got me now like, who Christmas party can I just come up there and just be RFD?
Yes. Okay, so we talked about showing skin. So this is one of the things. Now I told you in real life. Now in real life, you might not see me in this, but this is a little like onesie, like little short outfit. Wait a minute, I'm gonna show you this. Okay, so look, that's velvet. So this is short.
That is cute. A
And
short
then you'll
velvet
see me in
outfit.
pictures. Wait a minute, you'll see me in pictures. And then this is the shoe, which is also velvet, and it ties up the leg.
Oh, girl, I'm
And
stopping
then
myself. I
and then
can't right now. That sounds too
and then
sexy
this
for
is
the show.
the velvet little robe to go with it. So if you about that life, especially if you're going on a date or if you still go out and club, I mean, like this is even covered for clubbing. But I would definitely wear that. I'm definitely going to wear that in pictures. But I like to show my legs, so that's what I would show. Robin gonna come and show her back. She gonna be fully covered in the front and then spin around, and we're gonna be like, what? So another thing that you can do is do a pop out piece, and this is good because you can just do this with accessories. So let's say you're wearing something that you feel comfortable in, but you're like, let me do a hat. And anytime you do a hat, you're gonna get attention. I mean, unless it's a hat party.
Girl, that hat is bad though. I like hats. I definitely think that that woman has a statement about herself. I think when a woman comes in the room, that she really, she wore her hat to make that statement. I like that
Yes,
about her though.
yes,
I say that's a bad woman, right? She's walking in her
exactly,
womanhood. Yeah, she's walking in,
exactly.
and
So,
that's a
so
woman. Yeah.
So statement pieces. So it can be jewelry. I have some beautiful African jewelry. It can be jewelry. It can be a belt. This is a belt. This may anytime you rock that, it makes a statement. It could be like a thigh high boot, a shoe is going to make a statement. Or another good thing, which is something I haven't done, but I want to start doing, is like tights. So like printed tights, or like a lot of times you can do like the designer or the logo tights. So that's something else that you can do to, be like, all eyes on me. Like, I know you see me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Be ready. I was like trying to go to some of the part because you get like, but I really needed these tips because, and I'm sure my listeners do too, so we can have fun at these parties and you want to come and, make a great statement where they'll remember you at the party and they'll say, oh, I remember her. She brought it, right? I remember her sitting over there walking through the room. And so all of us women normally like to bring it when we come and
yes,
which I love how you said, take the air out the room.
take
Girl,
the
take
air
the
out
air
the
out the
room.
room. Yes. Hello, self-care boss. Welcome. We're happy to have all of you listeners here. Thank you for being with us. And share more with us, Steph. We got about 10 more minutes, and the listeners are, I'm sure, getting some good tips on how the do's and what to make these signature statements. Go right ahead.
Okay, definitely. So I know you mentioned do's, and of course there are don'ts. Don'ts are a little more difficult because it's really about your comfort level. But you did bring up, being around family or maybe meeting your significant other's family. So one of the things that I would be careful with is you want to wear test your clothes. So sometimes we put something on and we're standing and we look beautiful. We turn around, we're like, oh, this is it right here. But can you sit down, boo? You know what I'm saying? Can you sit down? Like, that's sometimes an issue. Maybe it's too tight, maybe it's too short. I like to show my legs, but I show my legs more often in pictures than I do IRL in real life because can I sit down? Like, I don't actually want to flash everybody. You know what I'm saying? I got some big thighs over here.
I was going to say that thunder thighs. You got them thunder thighs, girl. And you wearing all them somewhere. You going to be making the air out the room. They going to be like, all I see is thighs.
Exactly. Exactly. So you want to do wear tests. Can I bend over? Can I sit down? Like if I bend over, is there going to be too much shown? Is there
Mm-hmm.
something going to pop out or something like that? So when you're getting dressed, you want to consider that. And there's different types of people. So there's some people who most of us we dress for the occasion. We take that into consideration. But we know that there are certain people who are eclectic, maybe, and they wear what they wear each and every time. Yes, can you dance in it? Can you sit down? Can you walk in it? Like I've been showing y'all some heels, but like these heels, if you see me in real life in these, they're gonna be cutting off my circulation because I had to tie them so tight so they won't slide down my leg. Like I haven't got that together yet. You know what I'm saying? So those things are so important. But dressing for the occasion for a lot of us is still very important. And so you want to do that. You want to be considerate. If you're going to someone's birthday party and they're the birthday girl, yeah, you want to look good, but you don't necessarily want to take the air out the room. You don't
Right.
necessarily want to be the center of attention. And oftentimes that's an important thing. If somebody tells you, okay, it's my birthday party, I want you guys all to wear red, or it's my wedding day and I want everybody to wear cream, follow, you know what I'm saying?
No, I
Follow
don't, Steph, because I'm
directions.
gonna tell you how some of the people I see in the picture who had to come in, and you didn't tell them it's a blue party, it's a white party, it's a black party, and you like, well, how did this sister come in with her leopard out? Okay, leopard,
And then want to be in the pictures. Okay,
right?
you might can show up to my party, but you gonna be on the end so I can crop you. Okay, get right over there on the end so I can crop you because you're not gonna be in my pictures, not following directions. So those are some easy other things. If it's a work party, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you might wear something to get you fired. You might wear something that might, elevate you. Depending on where you work, you might get a promotion. But keep in mind that it's work related and that you want to be consistent. But the other thing about it is have fun with your fashion. So we talked about starting where you are. So starting where I am is with starting with this black and the puff sleeve. but I also want to have fun. I want to explore and look at other things. Listening to influencers going on Instagram, going on YouTube, typing things in, and then also I'm going to promote myself and other um, consultants, because you can actually save money by having a personal shopper. Because oftentimes what happens, if you don't love to shop, you go into a store and you say, give me everything that's on the mannequin. And it's at the front of the store. It ain't got no discount, it ain't got no markdown, it don't got nothing. So you're paying $300 for one outfit. Where if you get a personal shopper and they say, okay, I do thrift, I do discount, I spend a little more time curating items, but I really love the bargain shop. I think having a smaller footprint for the earth is important. And if you're willing to go that direction, you can spend that same $300 and get 4 or 5 outfits. So definitely consider that if you're not one who likes to shop, thrift, and things like that, getting a personal shopper and consultant.
And that's why I asked you to be my personal shopper. In this new world of, getting assistance and people to help you, I was like, I don't like to shop. And I had to accept that younger when I was younger. I identified that. I never really wanted to go do the women shopping. I just want to quickly say I don't really like to go out shopping with a lot of women.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's just, every one want to be in the shoe store 12 hours. The other woman want to go try on five. And I'm ready to go home. Because I'm the one who will go in the store and see the mannequin. I'm like, oh, that's what RFD like, right? And so RFD go like, can I just get that off the mannequin? I just like it's simple, easy, and done for me, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so I identified that with myself. And I said, well, what do I needed help from an expert like yourself who could just take that assignment, I can delegate that to you and I can stay in my genius and work on, other things besides figuring out what I wanted to wear. And it just made it so easier for me. And I was like, I wish sometime I was like a lot of other women. And when I do shop, I like to shop by myself. I
Mm-hmm.
just like to be by myself. I don't feel I'm rushing myself. I don't feel like I need nobody to really tell me nothing. If I don't like it after I try it on, like you said, and I'll take it back. But I think that's great reasons to, if you're that person, if you identify that you're that person, that you definitely want to get a shopper. What do you have coming up? We got a few more minutes, and I wanted to. Is there any other thing, any other nuggets before we get to these last couple of questions I have for you?
Okay, yeah. So I do want to definitely say this, that I have had the blessing, the opportunity to work with a few different women, and all women that I've come in contact with have something that they don't necessarily feel comfortable or confident in. So it might be, their stomach, or it might be their arms, or like there's one woman that I know, she's actually a dancer, but she doesn't like to show her legs. There's another woman that I know, she's like a medium size 6'8", but she doesn't like to wear heels because she feels like they can't hold her weight. So whatever we've told ourselves or someone else has told us in our minds, we kind of allow those things to stop us from exploring and wearing different things. Now, again, I'm not as concerned about you exploring or wearing different things. Like the lady who was a dancer and I want to wear shorts. I'm like, girl, wear shorts around the house. Wear shorts on the porch. You know what I'm saying? Give your legs some sun. The point is to tell your body parts that you love them and you appreciate them and you care about them. So did your womb birth some babies? Did your womb birth some creativity? Did your womb remove toxins from your body? Did it help to nourish you? Did your arms help drive you places and get you places and lift somebody up? So that's the important thing that we have to do as women, as human beings. We have to know that wherever we show up with all of us. There's no part of us that we're going to leave at home. We're going to get there with all of us.